Namaste, yogis. Hope you're all well. One thing that we do know about COVID-19 is that it is a virus that attacks our respiratory system. So, if ever there was a time in our yoga practice where we need to deeply connect to pranayama, it's now. And pranayama, on a very, very basic level, on an entry level, is about working with the breath. At a more deeper, complex level, it's about understanding how to move the subtle energy prana around the subtle body. But like everything, we have to go back to the basics and master the basics before we can do the more complicated stuff. So if you imagine that, somebody handed you a piano and you'd never seen one before, you're not going to sit down in front of it and immediately start to play Beethoven's Piano Concerto in B flat. You're more likely to be able to master chopsticks. So before we can do the more complex, subtle body pranayama, we need to go back to chopsticks. And that's kind of what we're going to explore over these kind of little short videos. And the very, very first principle to remember about pranayama, the only pranayama we actually kind of are aware of the breath in the throat is Ujjayi breath, which I know many of you are familiar with. But the rest of the pranayama is about controlling the breath in the nostrils. And the reason that we breathe in and out of the nostrils is threefold. One, it warms the breath up. Two, it filters the breath. And three, it moistens the breath. And that's really, really important, because if you know yourself, if you breathe in and out of your mouth all your time, eventually your throat starts to dry up and you start to cough. So it's really, really important that we practice all the time breathing in and out of our nose. And unfortunately, most of us, unless you're a yogi and you do practice pranayama, most of us breathe into the upper rib cage and into the upper chest. And very, very few of us actually breathe into the belly. And when we're breathing into the upper rib cage and the upper chest, we're only breathing into the upper lobes of the lungs. So we're not using the full capacity of the lungs. And one of the things that can really help us in combating issues with our lungs is the ability to use the full capacity. So that's what we're going to do today. So very, very simply, I want you to start off by just getting yourself nice and comfortable, any comfortable seated position, making sure obviously that you're sitting up nice and tall. And I want you to just bring one hand to kind of just about your navel, just above your navel, and one hand on your breastbone. And then all I want you to do is to close your eyes and just start to breathe. And without controlling your breath in any way, I'm not asking you to do anything particular here. I want you to just breathe. Take nice breaths. And what I want you to notice is which hand is moving more. Is it the hand on the belly, or is it the hand on the chest? And if you're not familiar with pranayama, then you're probably going to be breathing more into the upper hand. And what we're going to practice today is about trying to take that breath down into the belly, and then understanding how we can then control that breath to use the full capacity of our lungs. In yoga, this is called Mahayog Pranayam, the king of breaths. So once you've acknowledged that, where you're breathing, don't beat yourself up about it, okay? It doesn't matter whether it was the belly or it was the chest. We're all going to kind of go through this together. Okay, so let your hands go, and then I'm going to invite you to come down onto your back. And hopefully, that's my shruti box. And then hopefully I'll get the angle of this right so that you can see me as well as hear me. So come down onto your back, take your feet wider than your hips, and then just let your knees drop in to support each other. And then just simply lie down. And then make sure that you're nice and comfortable. And then I'd like you to bring your fingers to just rest lightly on your belly. So above your belly button, but below your rib cage, there's a bit of a squishy spot, yeah? So I want you to just kind of rest your hands roughly there. Elbows on the floor, shoulders nice and relaxed, jaw nice and soft. And then if you can, close your eyes. And then I want you to focus on your breath. And I want you to see if you can breathe into the space behind your hands. So as you breathe in, feel your belly becoming nice and round, nice and full. And as you breathe out, feel your belly softening. So as you breathe in, the belly becomes nice and full. And as you breathe out, the navel just drops back to the spine. Nice and simple. So this is abdominal breathing. This is breathing into the lower lobes of the lungs. But don't practice with force. Keep it nice and soft. Keep it nice and relaxed, nice and gentle. Well done. Make sure that you keep your face nice and relaxed, your jaw nice and soft. Well done. And then just let that go. Bring your hands down to the side of the body, palms facing the floor. We're going to do the same thing again, only this time we're going to do it without the hands connecting to the physical body, but we are going to bring in an arm movement. So very, very simply, as you breathe in, I'd like you to lift your arms so your fingers are pointing towards the sky. And as you breathe out, bring the hands back down, palms on the floor. So as you breathe in and lift your arms up, breathing into your belly. And as you breathe out, bring the arms back down, belly softens. So breathing in, lift the arms, feel the belly becoming full. And as you breathe out, the belly softens and the arm lowers. And keeping it nice and gentle. Well done. And then just relax the hands. Okay, from here, bring the hands onto the sides of the ribs. So elbows nice and wide, elbows resting on the floor. Fingers kind of spread out across the rib cage. Heels of the wrists kind of about the side of the ribs, or as best you can. Okay, and again, eyes closed if you can. And then as you breathe in again, you're going to send your breath to where your hands are. So as you breathe in, getting a sense of the rib cage expanding. And as you breathe out, the rib cage softening. The belly's going to stay relatively still. Most of the movement's going to be felt in the hands. You're not pressing, but you're just aware of the rib cage widening as you breathe in and softening as you breathe out. Super, super simple. Breathing into the middle part of the lungs, thoracic breathing. Nice, soft, easy breaths. Don't stress, don't force the breath. But aware of that movement beneath your hands. Doesn't need to be a big movement. Well done, and then let that go. And then we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to try to focus on breathing into the rib cage, but using an arm movement. So this time, fingers are pointing towards the sky, but the palms of the hands are facing each other. Okay? And then when you're ready, you're going to take a breath in and take the arms wide, backs of the hands coming to the floor. And then as you breathe out, bring the hands back up, palms facing each other. So breathing into the rib cage, arms going wide. Breathing out, bringing the hands back up, palms facing each other. Nice and simple. Breathe in, breathing into the ribs, arms wide. Breathing out, ribs soften, arms come back towards each other. And just keep going. Nice, easy, relaxed breaths. Don't try to think about it. Don't overcomplicate this in your head. You're very, very simply breathing into it with awareness in your rib cage as the arms widen. And then allowing the rib cage to soften as you bring the arms back together. And then just let that go. Bring the hands back down. Okay, third stage is breathing into the upper chest. So if you can, you're going to tuck your thumbs into your armpits and relax your elbows on the floor. If the thumbs don't like that, just in some way, shape or form, see if you can spread your fingers across the upper chest. There's a lovely bone, goes from the shoulders into the throat, the base of the throat, the clavicular bone, the collarbone. See if you can spread your hands roughly around that space. Okay, and again, when your hands are settled, the body's settled, return to your breath. And as you breathe in, again, you're going to try to breathe in with awareness in the space beneath the hands. There's still going to be a little bit of movement in the ribs. That's okay. It's unavoidable. But you're going to feel a sensation of the breath in the upper chest. And there's not going to be a huge amount of movement here. This is where the breath is its most shallow. You might just feel a subtle breath in the throat. But just aware of the sensation of breathing into the upper chest, the upper lobes of the lung, sometimes called clavicular breathing. Perfect. And then let that go. And then same again, we're going to try to breathe with awareness in the upper chest, again using an arm movement. So we're going to take the arms take the fingers up towards the sky again. This time the palms are facing towards the feet. And then as you breathe in, you're very simply going to take the arms above the head. And as you breathe out, bring the arms all the way back over. Bring the arms up above the head as you breathe in. And then as you breathe out, bring the arms back up, palms facing the feet, fingers pointing towards the sky. Breathing in into the upper chest, take the arms back. Doesn't matter if the hands don't reach the floor, but nice, strong arms. Aware of the sensation as you breathe in, of breathing into the upper chest, the upper lobes of the lungs. Well done. And then just make this your last one. Bring the arms all the way back down towards the floor. Okay, so we're going to do the same again. We're going to pull all of this together and we're going to use the hands on the arms to bring the awareness of breathing into the belly, into the rib cage and into the chest. So we start off with the palms on the floor. Palms facing the floor either side of the hips. Again, make sure that your shoulders are relaxed, that your jaw is relaxed. And then very, very simply, as you breathe in, lift the arms, breathing into the belly. And then when the fingers are pointing towards the sky, breathe out, turning the palms towards each other. On your next breath in, breathing into the rib cage, take the arms wide, backs of the hands coming to the floor. As you breathe out, bring the hands back up. Turn the palms towards the feet. As you next breathe in, take the hands above the head, breathing into the upper chest. And then as you breathe out, bring the arms all the way back over. Well done. Breathe into the belly, fingers pointing towards the sky. Breathe out, turn the palms to face each other. Breathe into the ribs, take the arms wide. Breathe out, bring the arms back up, rib cage soften, turn the palms towards the feet. Breathe in, take the hands above the head, breathing into the upper chest. Breathing out all the way down, hands down onto the floor. Well done. Breathe into the belly, lifting the arms. Breathe out, belly softens, turn the palms. Breathe into the ribs, take the arms wide. Breathe out, lift the arms, rib cage softens, turn the palms. Breathe in, take the hands above the head. Breathe out all the way down. And just keep going like that all by yourself at your breath's pace. Breathing in, breathing out, moving the awareness of the breath from the bottom of the lungs to the middle of the lungs to the upper part of the lungs. Practicing as much as you can with your eyes closed. And then when you've finished your next full round, just let that go. And then roll over onto your side and come up to sitting. So that was the very beginning of the three-part breath. Abdominal breathing, mid-chest breathing, upper chest breathing. And it's a really simple practice, and even if you do that just for 2 or 3 minutes a day, eventually you will start to notice that your lung capacity is starting to grow. Any questions on that, you know where I am, and I'll join you again in another couple of days with another practice. In the meantime, namaste.